We're live, so whenever you're ready.
I'm trying to see differently.
Oh, they're still working?
Yeah. Should I call my clip?
Yeah, go home. Go home.
Will Alderman please take your seats? We will have the city council clerk take the roll.
Who's next? Present. Douglas? Here. Burt? Rodriguez?
Yeah, present.
Singh? Here. Rodriguez?
Here.
David? Here. Here. Bola? Here. Edwards?
Here.
Maxwell Smith? Here. Winter? Here. Morrison?
Here.
Dr. Meyer?
Here.
Hamilton? Martin?
Yes.
Hakeem? Here. Solo?
Present.
Stickland?
Here.
Wingate?
Present.
A quorum has been established. We'll now have divine guidance from order from Rule 17.
You see it? I had the opportunity to work with children, educators, and parents and families for almost 5 decades. I came to the realization that maybe somehow I may have had an impact on it. Maybe the trust, the kind word, the serious conversations, the good morning, the thank you, the caring moments, the sad moments, the joyous moments, the compassion. You may never know. Words, actions, and decisions are powerful tools. They can uplift our personal energy, improve our lives, shape our beliefs, drive our behavior, and ultimately create our world. On several occasions, I've had the great fortune to hear from former students, players, parents, teachers, and families on how I gave them encouragement, gave them hope, led them down a positive path. Like many of you heard positive things from your constituents because of the hard work and tough decisions you've made right here in these chambers. It's gratifying and makes us feel good. But we did and continue not to do it for self-gratification, but because we care. We want to make a difference. We want everyone in the city to believe in themselves. And I know we will continue to help and support and change lives in so many ways and make this great city even greater. Before I end with a quote on a personal note, Madam President, leadership, and colleagues, I want to thank you for your continued support and guidance. It is greatly appreciated. As most eloquently put by the late, great Jesse Owens, in the end, It's the extra effort that separates a winner from second place. But winning takes a lot more than that. It starts with a complete command of the fundamentals. Then it takes desire, determination, discipline, and self-sacrifice. And finally, it takes a great deal of love, fairness, and respect for your fellow man. Put all these together, even if you don't win, how can you lose? Thank you.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President, and good evening. I will approve of the journal of the July 5, 2022 regular board votes.
Second.
The item has been moved and second. Are there any corrections to the journal? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Under unanimous consent, I ask you see item number 1 from the tax collector order of tax refunds, August 1, 2022.
Is there anyone going to deny unanimous consent? Seeing none, Mr. Majority Leader.
I move the item.
Second.
The item has been moved and second. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I ask unanimous consent on items 2 through 11. 2, order concerning real property taxes of Philip Brooks on motor vehicle tax accounts 822-869, 889995, 950498, 56238, 56239, 56240, 56314, 56315, and 56316. 3, order concerning real property taxes of Philip Brooks Jr. on motor vehicle tax accounts 81797, 81798, 56373, 56374, and 56423. 4, order concerning real property taxes of Emmanuel Collins on motor vehicle tax accounts 60630 and 60645. 5, order concerning real property taxes of William Garton on motor vehicle tax accounts 711542 and 711543. 6, order concerning real property taxes of Taryn Greer on motor vehicle tax account 719 6026 7133 71959 and 71331. 7, order concerning real property taxes of Shirley Hampton on motor vehicle tax accounts 86284 and 72731. 8, order concerning real property taxes of Jamal Harris on motor vehicle tax accounts 86668, 72953, 73255, and 86669. 9, order concerning real property taxes of Catherine Longyear on motor vehicle tax accounts 699045. 10, order concerning real property taxes of Jeffrey Lucas on motor vehicle tax accounts 699193. And 11, order concerning real property taxes of Mary Morrison on motor vehicle tax accounts 86715.
Is there anyone going to deny unanimous consent on these items? Seeing none, Ms. Majority Leader.
I move these items. Second.
The items have been moved in second. Discussion. I call on order from Ward 16.
Thank you, Madam President. These tax constituents are willing to pay the taxes in full. They just need a little bit of assistance by waiving the interest. If this body would consider that suggestion and waive it, we'll be able to get their taxes in full, which would be a total of $11,000. And I urge support of this body. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I ask you to see item number 12 from the Director of Health submitting a resolution authorizing the New Haven Health Department to accept the continuation grant award of $712,360 annually from the Connecticut Department of Public Health for the period of July 1, 2022 through June 30, 2026 for tuberculosis prevention and control activities.
Is there anyone going to deny unanimous consent? Seeing none, Ms. Majority Leader.
I move the item. Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I ask you to see item number 13 from the Deputy Chief Administrative Officer submitting an order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the closures along a 3.1 mile route for Christopher Martin Christmas Run for Children, 5K on December 4, 2022.
Is there anyone going to deny unanimous consent? Seeing none, Ms. Majority Leader.
I move the item.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I ask you to say item number 14 from the Deputy Chief Administrative Officer submitting an order of the New Haven Board of Aldermen approving the following downtown road closures on Friday, September 16, 2022, from 2 p.m. to September 17, 2022, 12 a.m. in support of the annual Day Chapel Street from Temple Street to High Street, High Street from Chapel Street to Elm Street, partial closure of Elm Street from High Street to Temple Street and Temple Street from Elm Street to Chapel Street, and the closure of Elm Street from Elm Street to Elm Street from 12 p.m. on Friday, September 16, 2022 to 12 a.m. on Saturday, September 17, 2022.
Is there anyone going to deny unanimous consent? Seeing none, Ms. Majority Leader.
I move the item.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I ask you to say item number 15 from the University Senior Vice President of Operations submitting a resolution of the New Haven Board of Aldermen certify that no amendment to the Yale University Central Science Campus overall parking plan is required pertaining to construction of the graduation student housing, AKA the Living Village at the Yale Divinity School.
Is there anyone going to deny unanimous consent? Seeing none, Ms. Majority Leader.
I move the item.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Under Communications, I note items 16 through 23. Under first readings, I note items 24 through 30. Bringing us to second readings. Under second readings, I move item 31A, finance favorable. Or reading the amendment to a legal service agreement with the law firm of Hubert, Pepe, and Monty, PC, in connection with the Canal Dock Courthouse project, increasing the maximum compensation from $99,000 to $159,000 from FY 2021 through 2022. Line item 3C191957-8 58101, $30,000, and 3C222248-58702, $30,000.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. I call on order from Ward 25.
Thank you, Madam President. This is a request from the Corporation Council to increase the maximum allowed compensation to the law firm representing the city in a suit against the contractors who poured the concrete deck for the Canal Dock facility. The work was defective and cracks are already appearing in the deck. The city is taking the responsible course in seeking legal and financial accountability from this contract. The Finance Committee heard this item on June 13th and voted to give it a favorable recommendation. I ask colleagues to vote in support of the motion. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, this is a ordinance amendment. We will have a roll call. We'll have the city town clerk take the roll.
Rusev?
Yes.
Douglas?
Yes.
Burke? Rodriguez?
Yes.
Singh?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Saban?
Yes.
Kupo?
Yes.
Decker? Augusta? Haywood? Antunes? Santana?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Santiago? Crespo?
Yes.
Punzo?
Yes.
Nicola?
Yes.
Edwards?
Yes.
Absalom Smith?
Yes.
Winter?
Yes.
Morrison?
Yes.
Walker Myers?
Yes.
Hamilton? Marchand?
Yes.
Rakeem? Willow?
Yes.
Strickland?
Yes.
Wingate?
Yes.
Smith?
Is there anyone who hasn't voted wishing to vote? Is there anyone who has voted wishing to change their vote? Seeing none, the item passes. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Continuing under finance favorable, I move item 31B, order to read and file the updated budgetary and financial reports for the month of April 2022 in compliance with Article 8, Section 5 of the charter.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor of giving this item a read and file, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I move item 32A, legislation favorable, ordinance amendment to section 11-9 of the New Haven Code of Ordinances regarding the New Haven Emergency Management Advisory Council, including its creation, appointment, and duties.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. I call on order from Ward 8.
Thank you, Madam President. I move to amend this item to change the word hotel in section 11-1D to natural, so the subsection reads natural and man-made disasters.
Second.
Thank you, was very fast on that. Okay, the amendment has been moved and second. Discussion on the amendment only. I call on order from Ward 8.
Thank you, Madam President. This change is needed to clarify that this ordinance amendment refers to all disasters or funds occurring naturally and by human act.
Any further discussion on the amendment only? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item is now amended. I will now call on order from Ward 8.
Thank you, Madam President. On Tuesday, June 7th, 2022, the Legislation Committee met and we would like to favorably recommend this item. This ordinance amendment updates old language of the Emergency Management Advisory Council ordinance to remove reference to nuclear war and to update it to apply to natural and man-made disasters such as climate change. Also, it includes 3 community members approved by the Board of Alders to serve on the council. Finally, it makes the duties of the council clearer. I urge colleagues to vote favorably to support this item. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? I call on order from Ward 25.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise in support of this item, and I want to express my thanks to my colleague from the 18th Ward for his due diligence and thought in leading the conversation with the administration to make these much needed changes. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, this is an ordinance amendment. We'll have the city council clerk take the roll.
Yes. Douglas? Yes. Burt? Rodriguez?
Yes.
Singh?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Cooper?
Yes.
Decker? Sessler? Haywood? Andrews? Santana?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Santiago? Turco?
Yes.
Hunter?
Yes.
Cola?
Yes.
Edwards?
Yes.
Absalom Smith?
Yes.
Winter?
Yes.
Morrison?
Yes.
Walker Myers?
Yes.
Hamilton? Marshall?
Yes.
Rapine? Rolo?
Yes.
Pickler?
Yes.
Wingate?
Yes.
Smith?
Is there anyone who has voted wishing to vote? Is there anyone who has voted wishing to change their vote? Seeing none, the item passes. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Legislation favorable, I move item 32B, ordinance of the Board of Alders amending the zoning ordinance of the city of New Haven concerning the responsible and equitable regulation of adult use cannabis.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. I call on order from Ward 8.
Thank you, Madam President. I move to amend this item to add section C3, that safe development. Number 3, in the case of a retailer only, there shall not be more than 1 licensed retailer for each 25,000 residents of the city, as measured by the most recent decennial census or American Community Survey data issued by the United States Census Bureau, whichever is the more recent at any one time.
The amendment has been moved and second. Discussion on the amendment only. I call on order from Ward 8.
Thank you, Madam President. This change is needed to limit the number of retailers allowed in Haven to 1 per 25,000 people or for the foreseeable future to 5.
Any further discussion on the amendment only? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item is now amended. I will now call on order from Ward 8.
Thank you, Madam President. On Tuesday, June 7th, 2022, the Legislation Committee of the Board of Alders met and we able to favorably recommend this item. This ordinance amendment creates section 42.6 specifically to address and align zoning provisions with state law and licensing procedures for adult use cannabis. It seeks to prohibit commercial cultivation of adult use cannabis in residential zones and provide locations within commercial and industrial districts where cannabis may be cultivated, grown, sold, distributed, or dispensed. I urge colleagues to vote favorably to support this item. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion?
22.
I call on order from Ward 22.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise in support of this ordinance, and I ask my colleagues to do the same. Adult cannabis use is something that is real, right? It's a law that has been approved by the state. And as a municipality, we have a responsibility to design laws that will allow our city to benefit from this new law. This cannabis use, as we've seen various examples, stands to bring in $3 to $4 million a year in extra revenue for our city. We're also looking at places that do not interrupt the cities to allow this adult cannabis use to be sold. This ordinance will allow for increased jobs, will allow for the safe transaction of cannabis use and purchases. It would also allow for safety. The way that the dispensaries will be constituted in our cities will have various security measures around, which would benefit the communities in which these cannabis locations will sit. So I ask you as a board to please support this ordinance, because this is something that can benefit for our city, for our constituents, to ensure that we have jobs and things are done safely. So thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, this is the ordinance amendment. I will call the city council to take the roll.
Okay.
Yes.
Douglas,
Yes.
Burt, Rodriguez,
Yes.
Singh,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Saban,
Yes.
Lupo,
Yeah.
Decker, Sestra, Haywood, Antunes, Santana, Miller, Santiago, Crespo, Punzo,
Yes.
Cola,
Yes.
Edwards,
Yes.
Absalom Smith,
Yes.
Winter,
Yes.
Morrison,
Yes.
Walker Myers,
Yes.
Hamilton, Marcellin,
Yes.
Raheem, Burlow, Picklen,
Yes.
Wingate,
Yes.
Smith.
Is there anyone who haven't voted wishing to vote? Is there anyone who has voted wishing to change their vote? Seeing none, item passed, Ms. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Continuing on the second reading of item 33, public safety due to withdrawal to the communication title from Malcolm O. Ashley, submitting a communication concerning the Connecticut State Police Task Force and the State of Connecticut General Statute CGS Section 14-150.
Second.
The item has been moved and second. Discussion. I call on order from Ward 29.
Thank you, Madam President.
We are going to give this leave to withdraw as a request. This concern was communicated to the city. It was addressed by our committee, and we want to honor this request to be, leave withdrawn.
Any further discussion on the leave to withdraw only? Seeing none, all in favor of giving this item leave to withdraw, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item is withdrawn, Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Under miscellaneous, I move item number 34, motion to discharge Health and Human Services from the Chair of the Health and Human Services Committee submitting a motion to discharge the Health and Human Services Committee from consideration of LM-2022-0320. Order the Board of Aldermen authorizing the New Haven Health Department to apply for and accept a grant award of $500,000 annually from the U.S. Office of the Assistant Secretary for Health and Office of Minority Health for the period October 1, 2022 through September 30, 2025, to address factors contributing to structural racism in public health and to execute, acknowledge, implement, and deliver any and all such documents as may be considered necessary or appropriate with respect thereto.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion on the motion to discharge only. Seeing none, all in favor of giving this item discharge, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item has been discharged, Mr. Majority Leader.
I move the item, Madam President.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. Seeing none.
21.
Oh, I call on order from Ward 21.
Vice Chair.
Thank you, Madam President. I am pleased to request the board supports this motion in order to facilitate the application being submitted. This is a multi-year grant application through the U.S. Office of the Assistant Secretary for Health and Office of Minority Health, beginning October 1st, 2022, and going through September 30th, 2025. Three-year grant to address factors contributing to structural racism in public health. This board stepped forward and recognized racism as a public health crisis, becoming the first city in the country to make such a declaration. This grant would provide vital resources to address health issues with the greatest racial disparities, including asthma. New Haven has the 5th highest asthma prevalence in the country, and cases disproportionately affect Black and brown residents. The committee had a thorough discussion on this proposal and recommended several changes which were included in the proposal. So we had a good conversation with the health department and are grateful for them working with us on this grant request. We urge colleagues to support. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes, Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Sorry, my place. Under miscellaneous, I move item number 35, motion to discharge finance. Chair of the Finance Committee submitted a motion to discharge the Finance Committee for consideration of LM-2021-0152. Title accept federal stimulus funding in a manner consistent with and pursuant to the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 and LM-2021-0614, titled Order of the Board of Aldermen appropriating $53 billion from the American Rescue Plan Act to implement Phase 3 pandemic recovery initiatives, and to take these items up for immediate action.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion on the motion to discharge only. I call on order from Ward 25.
Thank you, Madam President. The administration requested this important item be moved more quickly than our summer schedule allows. Some projects, particularly those associated with youth, need an infusion of support in order to meet their short-term goals. I urge colleagues to support the motion to discharge. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion on the motion to discharge only? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? The item has been discharged, Mr. Majority Leader.
I move the item.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion, I call on order from Ward 25.
Thank you, Madam President. I move to amend these items by substitution.
Second.
The item has been moved in second, and I hear the amendment, and I heard the second, so discussion on the amendment only. I call on order from Ward 25. Thank you for allowing me to get my thoughts back together.
Thank you, Madam President. I call the attention of my colleagues to the two documents provided. One is a revised and marked up version of the order associated with this item. That is the language that will substitute for these items. The second is a chart that will serve as amended Exhibit 1, which lays out the details of the $53 million allocation, which are changed from the submitted version. It may help to begin with the amended Exhibit 1, which shows how this substitute amendment moves money around and changes the mayor's proposed allocation. In brief, this amendment removes a total of $4.71 million from various lines in the wealth creation and economy allocation and puts those funds into other lines. As is indicated in the middle gray column, $710,000 is added to the DECD Support CT Small Business 2022 line. This initiative focuses on minority-owned businesses. Of the remaining $4 million, $1 million goes to the New Haven Land Bank allocation, and $3 million is split among 3 lines in the I'm Home Initiative category. If colleagues would please move from the amended exhibit to the amended order. This revision adds a whereas clause that refers to the public meetings held by the Finance Committee. It changes the second effective clause to reflect that the board is amending the mayor's proposed allocations as just described in Exhibit 1. This revision also adds an effective clause that requires the administration to work with alders, selected by the president of the Board of Alders, to develop an updated format for ARPA reports to be included in the monthly financial reports, as well as criteria to be used to evaluate the success of the programs and initiatives funded by this and other American Rescue Plan Act allocations. The administration will present the new reporting format and the additional evaluation criteria to the Finance Committee by its meeting in November 2022. The net result of these changes is an increase in funding up to a total of $18 million for efforts aimed at addressing the housing crisis. That matches the amount of funds allocated to programs that create positive pathways for youth, from greater funding for early childhood education to increased support for youth programming to new allocations to expand vocational education. These are the 2 areas of need that residents spoke most passionately about in the public hearings, and the amendment strengthens the city's commitment of resources to those priorities. I urge colleagues to vote in support of this motion to amend by substitution. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion on the amendment only? All right, seeing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item has been amended. I will now go back to order from Ward 25.
Thank you, Madam President. I encourage colleagues to vote in support of the item as amended, which provides funding to 2 of our greatest priorities as well as others, and creates new opportunities that I think will be exciting and will benefit residents across the entire city, particularly from neighborhoods in need. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? All right, seeing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Item passes majority leader.
Hey, Madam President, I move to suspend section 24-1-A of the rules of the Board of Alder's to conduct further business.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. Seeing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes majority leader.
Thank you, Madam President. On unanimous consent, I ask you to see item number 36 from the Director of Health submitting a resolution of the New Haven Board of Alders authorizing the mayor of the city of New Haven to apply for and accept the Overdose Data to Action Grant Award from the Quinnipiac Valley Health District for the period from September 1, 2022 to August 31, 2023.
Is there anyone going to deny unanimous consent? Seeing none, Ms. Majority Leader.
The item.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? The item passes majority leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Under communications, I have items 37 and 38. I move the close suspension of section 24-1-A of the rules of the Board of Alders to conduct further business.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passed. And before a motion to adjourn is appropriate, and before I take points of personal privilege, I'm going to take a point of personal privilege myself. We have a lot as a city. We recently just heard how our children are doing in third grade on their reading levels. We have some work to do. We have work to do to ensure that our communities of need are getting the services that they need around youth, and we will continue to do that work together as a board. And I just think that we have to constantly be reminding ourselves that we have to continue to put the most vulnerable on the forefront of our thinking here in the city. And that is what this board committed to years ago, and that's what we're going to continue to do. So every commitment that we spoke about, we all know we're going to make sure we do that. So I just wanted to end this meeting by saying that, and I understand and recognize that the ARPA funds is a perfect opportunity to try to bring some relief to some communities. And I think some of the things that we voted on are really good, and it's going to impact the whole entire city. But as a board, we definitely understand that each ward has additional needs, and we're going to do our best to try to meet those. And now I will take points of personal privilege. I will call order from Ward 27.
Thank you, Madam President. I just rise to welcome our new colleague of the Board of Alders, Alder Thomas R. Fickman Jr. We welcome him to our
Thank you. I will now call on order from Ward 25.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise, as I do every summer, to remind colleagues that in early September, I don my biking gear and I get on my machine and I pedal my pedals in support of cancer treatment and research through the Smiler Cancer Hospital and the Yale Cancer Center. I am riding in my ninth close-up free ride. And if colleagues are interested in supporting me, check with me and I will provide the information. Thank you, Madam President.
Are there any more points of personal privilege? I call on order from Ward 22.
ages of 7 to 107. We got something for you to do, so thank you. Thank you, Madam President.
Are there any more points of personal privilege? I call on order from Ward 19.
Hello, everyone. How are you all tonight? I hope you're doing well. We have a big event coming up. We're gonna have our gala 2022. Our tickets will be going live soon, so please check your inbox. We're gonna have all the information sent out with our great honorees. We want to remind you, Thursday, October 27, 2022, Anthony's Ocean View, our Black and Hispanic Caucus Gala 2022. We're gonna have raffles, auctions, all kinds of great things. And we really need these ads and ticket sales so that we can continue to support our communities. So if you have any questions, you know who to contact. You can contact our legislative office, a member of the Black and Hispanic Caucus, because we'll all be selling tickets and ads. But please let all the organizations and let your community members know that our tickets will be going live soon, and come out and support a great cause and have a great time all in one. Thank you.
Are there any more points of personal privilege? Seeing none, the motion to adjourn is approved.
Second.
The motion has been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item passed. Everyone, we're still in COVID. Please continue to sanitize your hands and wear your mask when you feel necessary. Thank you. Good night. Can I please see order from order 20?